duty that has finally been announced by the government. This was something that was in the works, of course. Anything above 5% was seen by the street, or would be seen by the street, as a positive, and it has come in at 12%. So I'm sure that and we've had conversations, of course, with analysts that have pointed out that this bodes well for the sector as a whole, and they said that despite the gap up, they would be advising their clients to buy. And you are indeed seeing buying, particularly for Steel Authority of India, which is likely to be the biggest beneficiary of this move. Let's talk about the broader markets as well. You have the mid-cap index that's gaining ground today, and it is up by about 1.4%, building on yesterday's gain of over 2%. The small cap index is gaining about 1%. Yesterday it moved up by as much as 2.7% or thereabouts. And let's also pull up the advanced decline ratio, because this will give you a sense of the fact that the breadth, even though we had a cautious start, the breadth has been very, very strong. It has stayed strong through the session today. Let's bring our experts on board. We've got Rajesh Agarwal, who's head of research at AUM Capital, and Vaishali Parekh, who's the vice president technical research at Prabhudas Lilladher. Thank you so much to the both of you for taking the time. Pleasure having you. I'll come to you first, Vaishali, today. And you're seeing, yesterday you saw the first glimpse of foreign institution buying after 17 sessions, and you had a broad-based up move. To a certain extent, the Nifty 50's move seems to be a little cautious today, but the breadth is very favorable. So from that perspective, do we expect that there's going to be a sustained up move, a building up of momentum, or do we see it fall by the roadside, as some technical analysts have suggested before the run-up yesterday?
Very good morning, Alex, and very good morning, Rajesh. So I think after a very long time, we are seeing market in the green. And the best part is that yesterday we also saw some positive FII inflow. Now, to talk about Nifty per se, I mean, we were waiting for Nifty to cross 22,550 because that was the first hurdle. So now, having seen this move and comfortably sustaining above, we elevate our targets. Right from now, we elevate our support levels to 22,550, which was earlier 22,300. And now, I think in all likelihood, Nifty can go towards 23,000 to 23,300. So that is a level to watch as to how we are, whether are we sustaining or are we seeing selling pressure. So till now, I would say, for now, we would be expecting this technical bounce back, and 23,200, 23,300 is the level to watch.
Okay, 23,200. Now the range is shifted to the upside. We've got our first caller for the day. Shailesh is calling us all the way from Qatar. Hi, Shailesh. How can we help you today?
Hello. Yeah, actually, I had one doubt, and I want to check before I proceed further.
Okay.
I have the Tata Technologies share, 600 shares, at the price of the 950 rupees.
Right.
So I just want to check whether it's a good time to accumulate more, or should I exit and move to another stock?
Okay, Shailesh, what is the time frame that you have in mind? Short term or long term?
1 to 2 years.
Okay.
Yeah, I can stay with this group with the long term, no problem.
Okay, you can stay. So Rajesh, since it's a relatively long term query, is seeing quite a considerable loss in this particular counter. I know a lot of people have said have patience with Tata Tech. Would you be in the same camp?
Good morning, Alex. Good morning, Vaishali. As far as Tata Tech is concerned, we are bullish on this. And we are very surprised with the kind of fall this stock has seen since listing, I would say. If I'm not wrong, it was listed at around 1,200 odd rupees and now trading at 600. It's almost 50% from its listing day. It's a good buy at these levels. Maybe a longer time frame, like the gentleman has said, for 2 years would be considerable for this. Considering the fact that the company is doing very well, they are into auto engineering. And previously, their main customer was Tata Motors. Now they have diversified their customer base. They have introduced new products too. All the divisions are doing good. And I think this is a good buy at 650 odd levels. If somebody has a long-term horizon, one can accumulate.
Okay, you can accumulate as well, Shailesh. That's the word from Rajesh on the fundamentals. Let me go across to WhatsApp. And by the way, that number on the top of the screen is where you can message, and I have it in front of me so I can speak to you directly. Sampath Kumar has messaged us. I do not know where he's tuning in from, but he's got a question on IREDA, and he's bought at a price of 157. The stock is currently trading at 149. He's got a significant quantity, 1,009 shares. He's bought for the long term. I'm coming back to you, Rajesh, on IREDA. There was a lot of interest early on, and in fact the stock gained on the back of that interest because of the kind of prospects that the power sector has and the fact that this is a lender. I think to a certain extent at that point PFC REC had already run up, and so this was the third player. A lot of people got into the stocks thinking that they could capture some benefits from there, but the stock has dropped quite substantially from that point. Would you say that you can hold on right now?
See, at this point of time, yes, one can hold on. And the fact remains that it dropped down from its highs because of valuation. I pointed out so many times that PFC REC, when they were trading at PE of 5, 6, and this stock was trading at around 15, 16 odd PEs, there was a huge valuation gap. Of course, this company was extending loans to renewable energy segment, which was in book, but the valuation gap was very huge, and that's why the correction. I think at this point of time, the valuation has been taken care of, and now one can even add for a target of maybe 180, 190 odd rupees.
Okay. All right. Relatively shorter term question then, and we've got Dr. Vijay Kumar, who's writing in from Andhra Pradesh. He's bought IRFC shares at a price of 117 rupees per share, 1,000 quantity, and he's got a 3-month time horizon. He's in the green right now, Vaishali. What does he look at in terms of upside potential? What key levels should he watch for?
So, like all stocks, I mean, IRFC also was thoroughly beaten down, and right now we are seeing a bounce. So, current market price is around 124.75. So, I would say continue holding because it's getting in the process of higher bottom and coming from the oversold zone also. So, I would say the near-term stop loss would be 117, and right through this can go towards 140 to start.
Okay, 140 is the level that you should watch out for on the upside. Govind Kumar is calling us from Hyderabad. Hi Govind, how can we help you today? Good morning.
Hi sir, good morning. Good morning to all sir. Thank you very much for accompanying my query. Sir, I have brought GMR Power and Urban 2000 shares at the rate of 140 rupees. Sir.
Okay.
Can I have some more on the book losses?
Govind, did you buy this for the long term? Yeah.
Yes, sir. I can hold at least 2 to 3 years. Sir.
2 to 3 years. Okay. So Rajesh, question for you then. GMR Power, the buy price is slightly elevated, 143. The stock is trading just above 100 or thereabouts. Would you buy more at this juncture, or would you book your losses?
See, I wouldn't buy more. I would wait for any upsides to exit. Maybe around 120 odd rupees, I would try to exit, because despite the fact that it's in a power company, it's not that valuation doesn't give that comfort at this point of time to despite the correction. A better play for a long term in this sector would be a Tata Power or a CESC.
Tata Power or CESC are alternatives, Govind, that you should consider in the power space. 120, in case you missed that, is the level that you should look to sell. Vikram is writing in from Meerut, and he's got 20,000 shares of Yes Bank, which he's bought at a price of 21. He's asking what the possible move on the upside could be. The stock has dropped further and is now at about 17 rupees or thereabouts. Vaishali, on the charts, what are the prospects? Is the drawdown, can you call a bottom? Is it oversold? What would you say?
Well, definitely, technically, we would say that it is in an oversold zone and we can expect a bounce. So once it sustains about 17, 18 levels, one can expect a bounce coming to 19 and 20. But having said that, I would say that right now in a market like this, you're getting fantastic opportunities to get into a stock like probably Bank of Baroda or an SBI. I would say focus on the front line. This is the time to focus on the front line.
Okay, so would you book losses therefore and move to, and which one of those would you pick front and center?
So, well, right now I would look at now ICICI Bank still. SBI is at a fair value. So I would say go for SBI. Why not in SBI at this level?
Okay, so you could potentially recover your losses faster if you switch, is basically the idea that Vaishali has got for you. And indeed, you are seeing some of these frontline banking names move quite smartly. And you've seen them move in the recent past as well. Vedanta is the next counter that we're talking about. And Vijeta is writing in from Kolkata asking about this. She's looking at a long-term view of 2 to 3 years, but she's also concerned with the short-term moves, Specifically, she's asking, should she be concerned about the debt to equity ratio, which is more than 2 times at this juncture? It's a valid question. Also, from the perspective, Rajesh, of this company going through a restructuring and the fact that it has, over the course of the last year, given out quite a bit of its cash in the form of dividends. So, how does it manage?
See, the basic question of debt equity is very valid. It has been languishing since very long period of time. That there was a huge debt, and management has time and again come on record saying that they are trying to reduce debt, they are trying to restructuring all those things, but nothing has happened until date. So debt definitely is an issue, but the kind of restructuring the company has planned, the demerger process and all, I think there is huge value unlocking going to take place in times to come. As far as dividend is concerned, they have already given out a lot of cash, and I don't think that kind of dividend would be expected in the near future. Maybe some amount of decent dividend would be there, but that kind of huge dividend, I don't expect to be repeated. One can continue to hold. Maybe a target of 520, 525 is quite possible in the next 6 to 9 months.
Okay, 525, 25. Okay, so there's upside even in the next 6 months, Vijeta, that you should watch out for. We've got our next caller. And Nilesh is calling us from Mumbai. I believe, Nilesh, first of all, good morning. I believe your questions are Trident Limited?
Yes, good morning, sir.
Please go ahead.
My question is related Trident share. Yes, I am holding this share from last 2 years at average price of 18 rupees. And currently I am having 200 shares. Yeah, I just want to know that how long should I hold? Is there any potential for any growth?
Okay.
Or something?
And you bought this on the basis of the price movement for the relatively short term, less than a 1 year time frame do you have? Or can you hold for much longer than that?
Yeah, I can hold much longer if it has a potential.
Okay, I get it. And you're making a sizable profit. The stock is up and about in trade today as well, 6.5%. Rajesh, any view on this? Should he book? It's not a very substantial amount in terms of actual rupees, but then he's made a sizable gain in terms of percentage. His holding is relatively small.
See, first of all, congratulations to him for sitting on gains. These days, you talk to anybody, everybody is sitting on a loss. So he is lucky, I would say. And the gains in a stock like Trident is further, I would say, the luckiest part. So I would say book profit in this. There are no fundamental reasons to hold the stock for a long period of time. You have made money, get out of the stock.
Okay, yeah. So there you go. In a market like this where you're just about seeing the up move, you should take the opportunity and book profits when you can. Rajesh Maheshwari is tuning in from Indore and he's got a question for us. He's asking about Taj GVK. And he's bought an average price of 334. He's looking at a short to medium term outlook on the counter. He's in the green and substantially so. He's bought at levels of 334. The stock is currently trading above 500. So kudos to you, Rajesh, for having bought when you did. What are the key levels to watch on the upside, Vaishali?
So actually the hotel stocks are doing very well and Taj GVK also has done very well. So I think, but one way rally we have seen right from 330 levels to now 550. So we do see that this is likely to go towards 620, but I would say book partial and the rest you can keep a trailing stop loss. Okay,
all right. So book some gains is what the suggestion is, and quite considerable gains as I see on the screen right now, 65% or thereabouts. All right, Dheeraj is calling us from Hyderabad next. And Dheeraj, hi, good morning. How can we help you today?
Good morning, sir. My query is regarding NewSim software.
Okay. What about it?
So, what about 250 shares of NewSim software?
Okay. Okay.
So, can we add it at current level, sir? Actually, it had a huge correction.
Yes. And why have you bought this share? Is this based on the price movement or did you like the company?
Actually, based on the price movement, sir, it is hugely impacted actually. It went until 1550, 1600 level. So, I felt it is a good price to enter and...
Yeah. It's down close to 40%, 38% over the last 3 months or so. Vaishali, so this is an attempt to catch the bottom. Has he done so? Not exactly, right? But he's close. 1035 or thereabouts is where he entered. What are the prospects on the upside?
I would say, well, the stock is continuing to be in a downtrend, but no sense taking a call of exiting right now. So I would say wait for because it's already in oversold, and I think this stock can bounce back. Look for a target of the bounce back would be first level to watch would be 1100. If it goes above, it could go towards 1200. That is definitely a level to watch because that would be a tough resistance. So for now, my target would be 1200. Have a look at it.
Okay, and would you say that it's a space to be wary of? Rajesh, I'm just wondering, of course, a lot of the IT companies today as well, losing ground, frontline IT companies, it's the one underperformer, the big underperformer, down about 1.6, the index as a whole. Would you be cautious if you are present in any of these companies, maybe reduce your weightage on IT?
See, I would not reduce, although maybe I would increase at this point of time because the kind of Trump tantrums, I would say, coming every day, is this or that. So, till things settle down, I won't add more, but I won't reduce also because at least in the frontline names like Infosys or a Wipro or a TCS, even HCL Tech, they are good bets. So I would stay put with them.
Would stay put. Any specific view on Newgen though?
Newgen, I would try to exit at higher levels. Maybe a bounce back from these levels would be given an opportunity to exit around 1,000 odd rupees.
Okay, fine. All right. Tata Investment is the next stock that I would like to talk to you about. And GVSS Rao is writing in from Mumbai, and he's bought 25 shares of the company at a price of 6,850, slightly elevated based on where we're seeing the market right now, and the stock price at 6,263 or thereabouts. He has asked whether he can hold for the term of 1 year or should he exit. What's the view, Vaishali?
I would say continue holding because the stock is already getting into a trend, and I would say this can go towards even 7,500. So if 1 year is the horizon, patiently wait and look for higher targets.
Okay, look for higher targets. Patiently wait is the call on the counter, Tata Investment. And all right, we've got our next caller. Ekambaraya is calling us from Hyderabad. Hi, sir, and thanks for tuning in, first of all, and thanks for calling us. How can we help you today?
Yeah, good morning, Alex. Thank you. Thank you for your response. I'm holding Varun Beverages shares.
Okay.
623 shares at a price of, 150 shares at a price of 623.
Right.
Now, is it the right time to average? I wanted to, since this summer season is coming, I'm expecting this will go up. It's a seasonal stock.
Yeah.
So once it goes, I want to exit. It's short term, I should say, it maybe 6 months.
Okay. So, but when you bought it, did you buy it from the fundamental perspective, or did you buy it anticipating that it's seasonal, it'll move up during the summer?
Yes, anticipating the seasonal.
Okay. Vaishali, what's a view on Varun Beverages at 540 or thereabouts?
So I don't agree to average at this level because the stock has fallen right from 660, that was the previous peak, to nearly 420 level. And from 420, we are seeing 540 right now. So let it retrace a bit. 500, 490, that would be the level to start averaging.
Okay, all right. So hope that answers your question, Ekambaraya. And it's had a pretty healthy up move, as you saw in the charts, over the last 1 month or so, 13% or thereabouts, and a few brokerages quite positive on this counter. Let's see how that pans out in the coming months. And hopefully this summer is not as hot as previous summers have been. I hope that's the case at least. Gati, or rather Allcargo Logistics is the next counter that we're talking about. And this is a question from Ramesh, who's tuning in from Kolhapur in Maharashtra. Allcargo Gati. He's not given us, so he's bought it about a year ago and he's looking for the outlook. He's not told us what the time frame is. But Rajesh, the question about these logistics companies is that they've promised so much and they've not delivered as much as one would have hoped, right? So what is your anticipation or expectation with Allcargo Gati?
See, logistic as a space was exciting, and they almost all the companies management gave very rosy pictures. Most of them didn't deliver. At this point of time, the only company which one can invest is Concor. Otherwise, I think Allcargo, as far as Allcargo is concerned, I think one should try to exit at around 62 rupees in the next bounce back.
Okay. So exit and look at Concor, Container Corporation of India. And this is an interesting play, right? Because you need containers for all sorts of logistics, particularly for shipping. And Concor is still down about 15% or thereabouts in the year so far. All right, let's get our next caller on board. We've got Shankar calling us from Bengaluru. Hi, Shankar. Good morning. And how can we help you today?
Thanks for a very good survey that you people are doing, sir. I'm mega hats off to you.
Our pleasure.
Then I'm holding Apex 250 shares at 199 average cost. And I'm seeing their financials, receivables are going up and the profit margins are coming down. And their sales also is not steady. So what is the scope for that? I am a banker by profession. That's why I look at the balance sheet and their financials. So what is the expert's view on this, sir?
Kudos to you, sir. And I'm glad that you're looking at the fine print and you're looking at the numbers that you absolutely should. Rajesh, I'm wondering if you have a view on this one. It specializes in trading of refrigerant gases and with regard to also responsible procurement of coal and ash disposal. Specific commentary on this one. Have you looked at the numbers as Shankar has?
See, as he pointed out, the margins have fallen, no doubt on that. But that's because of all the entire chemical space was in a downturn for the last 18 months or so. I think there are good days ahead. One can continue to go long. Refrigerant gases as a product is in high demand, and I think one can continue to hold. This is the one of the leaders, I would say, in the entire space.
All right. Well, Shankar, and once again, kudos to you for having studied the numbers. I would encourage that you continue to do that. And the point that Rajesh made on the space being under pressure is a good point to make. Let's pull up the slightly longer term charts because I don't know how much volumes. Okay, so volumes are about 68,000 at this juncture, and this is intraday, of course. It's moving up about 2%. It's down about 14% or thereabouts over the last 6 months. This is something that I will try and track as well. All right, Darshan has got the next question, and he's asking about HBL Engineering, 12,000 crore market capitalization company into batteries as well as e-mobility and other products. He's asking about the long-term prospects. He's bought at levels of 662. He's got 8 shares. The stock is currently trading at 438. It's making an up move today. What is the entry price for this, right? So he's asking whether to deploy further into this, as I understand it. Vaishali, what's a view here?
So I would say it has witnessed good corrective move, and currently, even when I'm looking at the weekly chart, it's on one of the support of a moving average. So I would say such stocks should be bought in tranches because we really don't know whether market is showing signs of bottoming out or it's just a pullback and we may see some further erosion. So I would say 350 would be the support. So accumulate with those levels in mind. So accumulate at every dip.
Accumulate and every dip. Darshan, that's the view on HBL, and well, maybe you can recover your price as well. Vaishali, Rajesh, we have to take a very quick break. Viewers, we'll be back on the other side to take more of your questions, so do stay tuned.
He sold most of his stock, 80%, as on that date.
We have requested the management to come and speak to us. They asked us, what questions will you ask? We've sent it to them. They don't want to answer it, so then let's put it to our viewers as well.
7 key questions, right? How is it that 2,000 crore goes unnoticed by all of these auditors?
Is seeking more information on the trades and the all the transaction which has happened from the exchanges, both NSE and BSE.
The Reserve Bank of India's supervisory officers, they are seeking compliance reports on their foreign currency borrowings by these banks.
The DSS is, actively engaging with the Reserve Bank of India to sort of ensure the thorough examination of the matter.
IndusInd Bank, as part of its internal review, had found that certain aspects of its derivatives portfolio was not meeting the standard that was set by the Reserve Bank of India.
Very warm welcome to you all for this NDTV Profit conclave, which is themed on Viksit Bharat.
A life which is both taking care of your material needs and taking care of your altruistic needs. That will be the true definition of Viksit Bharat.
In my view, we are already out of that slowdown.
For every anlom, you have to have vilom. You can't just keep doing up and up in the trading also. You have to come down. So the correction and healthy correction is a very, very integral part of the market.
The private capital expenditure, from where I see that private capital expenditure is happening.
Any tariff coming on Indian goods will be passed on to American consumers and Indian companies will not be affected.
We feel fairly good about the fact that we can compete with various folks.
Actually, instead of Viksit Bharat, we should call it Re-Viksit Bharat.
Headlines you start your day with. What matters worldwide is now in the palm of your hands. Get ready to seize the day and maximize your financial potential. Stay ahead of the curve with all you need to know on NDTV Profit.
He sold most of his stock, 80%, as on that date.
We have requested the management to come and speak to us. They asked us, what questions will you ask? We've sent it to them. They don't want to answer it, so then let's put it to our viewers as well.
7 key questions, right? How is it that 2,000 crore goes unnoticed by all of these auditors?
Is seeking more information on the trades and the all the transaction which has happened from the exchanges, both NSE and BSE.
The Reserve Bank of India
Hi, welcome back. You're watching Ask Profit, and this is where we get all of your questions on stocks answered. And Shakti is calling us from Chennai. Let's take that question up front. Hi, Shakti. Thanks so much for calling us, and how can we help you today?
Yeah, good morning all. Thanks, people. Thanks for my call. I have an idea of investing in Power Grid Infra for a long-term purpose. I checked the book value. It's trading below its book value with a decent P ratio and with good dividend yield at this current price. Is it the right time and right move at this time?
So I just want to clarify, Shakti, are you talking about the InvIT, the infrastructure trust? The Power Grid InvIT, right? Okay.
Yes.
So perhaps the metrics that you should be looking at are slightly different, but I'm going to go across to Rajesh on this one. Rajesh, you would buy into an InvIT for regular distribution of income over a period of time, and perhaps also to a certain extent, but less important than that, an appreciation in value, right? But what is your view on Power Grid InvIT?
See, first let us talk about Power Grid. It's a strong company, no doubt. A very good play on grid infrastructure, and with the kind of power shortage, it's going to do well. Now, the gentleman has talked about book value and all those things. In InvIT, that's not right, I would say. InvIT is a quasi-debt instrument where it functions as a debt and an equity. It's not a purely an equity shares. The dividend doled out is part capital and part dividend as for taxation purposes. So you should not compare book value and all those things for this. This is an instrument for some ultra HNI investors who look for very long-term investment. It's not wrong that retails are also there, but it shouldn't be compared as equity. You can continue to hold, but don't expect any meaningful capital appreciation into this.
Yeah, that's a fair point. Exactly. You're looking at, you would have to study the yield that you're getting on the investment that you're getting. And this is because it is a representative of several projects that it holds, the infrastructure trust, and the proceeds from those projects are what is distributed to you in the form of a dividend. All right, let's take the next question. And we've got HUL that we're talking about. And Parag Visaria is asking about this counter. Can you accumulate from the current levels? It's a tough one, right? Vaishali, wouldn't you agree? Because you're talking about hopefully the start of the next year, consumption plays, but HUL is something that has perhaps disappointed long-term investors and short-term traders both. Would you buy into this one?
I would say so. Actually, to my understanding, everything is pretty much cyclical. And I think post-budget, FMCG counters should have started showing signs of improvement. But technically, purely on technical levels, I would say HUL is showing signs of bottoming out. It is quite a laggard. So if time is not a consideration, I think it makes sense to start accumulating.
Okay. All right, so it makes sense to start accumulating. HUL is a view from Vaishali. I do want to point out, by the way, I see so many of you messaging on the WhatsApp number. In case we don't reply, does not mean that we've not seen your message or we're trying to ignore you. We just have only so much time. With that as a precursor, let me go to the next caller. Funny is calling us from Hyderabad about Tata Motors, I believe. Funny, good morning.
Yeah, good morning. Good morning, all of you.
Yeah.
My question is regarding Tata Motors. Currently, I am holding 80 shares of Tata Motors at around 830 buying price.
Okay.
So can I add more? My question is, can I add more at this point of time?
What is the idea that you have, Funny, though? Is it based on the long-term fundamental story for Tata Motors?
It's based on long-term fundamentals. Yes.
Okay. And if I were to ask you, when you bought it, how long were you prepared to hold it for? What would that be?
I can hold it for more than 2 years.
Okay, all right. Rajesh, a stock that has been under pressure, it's lost considerable value and rightly so. Some would argue because of the pressure that you have in the global markets for Jaguar Land Rover, question marks about the passenger vehicle business here in India, where there is increased competition from multiple sides, right, including EVs, where the company made big strides. So would you hold on? Would you add more?
See, adding more at this point of time is out of question because there are better alternatives available in the market. You have a Hyundai trading at around 1,500 odd rupees. You have a Maruti which is doing very well in four-wheeler space, I would say. Even Mahindra and Mahindra, which is into passenger cars and agriculture vehicles. So these are better alternatives available in the market at this point of time, purely on valuation parameters. As far as Tata Motors is concerned, you said it right. JLR is facing pressure due to its international business, huge debt. Although the management has told that the debt should be taken care of, and we totally believe that then that will be reduced considerably. But the pressure on EV, which was a big story last year, is not there right now because there is a lot of competition from the existing players and the new players coming in. So I don't find any reason to add more money into Tata Motors. Yes, one can continue to hold, but if you want to put money, there are better alternatives.
Yeah, and you've just named a few. I'm coming back to you, Rajesh, on an interesting one, right? This is CSB Bank. John from Chennai is asking about this. He's contemplating deploying funds into this particular counter. And generally, when we speak about the banking space, we don't often talk about this small bank, but it's an interesting one because of the space that it operates in. It's got gold loans And the promoter is also interesting. It's got a large holding by Fairfax. What is the prospect? It's currently trading at 1.2 times book trailing. Would you say that it's attractive? It's sub 300, 287 or thereabouts.
It's attractive, I would say. We have been tracking this since very long time. Since it was trading in unlisted space, from that time we have been tracking this. The bank is doing very well. The numbers have been good. Asset quality is good. And as you pointed out, it's one of the best play in gold loans, I would say. The only problem is very regional. It's basically based out of South India and in the other parts of the country, very nominal branches. So the only problem is regional. Otherwise, I think valuations are very attractive. One can buy for a target of maybe 15-20% upside in the next 1 year.
Okay, 15 to 20% upside. And that's a pretty modest anticipation or expectation on a bank that is growing pretty fast, actually. So, point well made. We've got a caller, I believe. Jitendra is calling us from Hyderabad, and it is a stock that I think Rajesh is going to smile about. It's certainly one of his favorites. Jitendra, good morning. How can we help you today?
Yeah, good morning to all, and thank you for your efforts in solving queries. I just holding 1600 shares of ITC Hotels at 171. And how long I can hold, and what will be the overall outlook for long term?
Jitendra, how long you can hold is something that you have to decide. So why don't you tell me what your expectation is for the stock? Have you bought it based on the fundamentals, and have you bought it based on holding for the long term, or is it a short term gain that you're looking for?
My outlook is for long term only. I'm just confirming as your view also.
Okay, all right, I understand. All right, Rajesh, the stock is up as much as 5%. Sorry, I read the first part of the stock name and I thought that he was talking about ITC, but he's talking about ITC Hotels. What's the view here? 5% up right now. Would you hold for further gains or would you book?
I would buy.
You would buy?
That's a single line answer to the entire story, but still, the company is doing very well. Hospitality sector as a whole is doing very well. We have seen a lot of up moves, a lot of good numbers coming in from the existing players, although this is the newly listed company demerged out of ITC. We got 1 share out of 10 shares of ITC, and this is a very strong play, I would say, with good brands under their belt. The management has come and recorded in saying that by 2030 they are going to almost double their room capacity. Average room rent is going up. Almost debt free. So in all parameters is a strong buy from our side. We expect almost 15 to 20% CAGR growth in the next 3 to 4 years. So it's a buy from our side.
Right. So there you go. I hope that answers your question. And you've already made some solid gains. It is trading very close to its issue price. It just moved up, and in fact, in trade today, above its issue price, if I'm not mistaken. All right. Venkatesh is writing in from Ahmedabad, and he's asking about Himadri Speciality. His buy price is 46.4, and he's got a very long-term time horizon. I can't believe that this is the buy price. I think it's incorrect. It cannot be 46. Let's pull up the longer-term charts. Is it 46? Wow, if it is, what a buy price. Rajesh, what's the long-term view? 5 years is the view that he's seeking.
See, the buy price is right, I believe, because sometimes back it was trading at 2 figures, if I'm not wrong, 2-3 years back. Company has been doing well. They have moved into specialty chemicals, carbon black and all those things. They have recently bought out Dodla tires from NCLT. Planning to go big into EV battery space. So they have a lot of announcements. Management has done a lot of announcements, and things are going to pan out in the next 3 to 4 years. So the only thing is the gestation period. If it goes very long from these levels, then there would be a problem. Otherwise, after the correction this stock has witnessed, I think 480, 490 would be a decent target for next 1 year.
Okay, 480 would be a decent target. All right. Again, I'm struck by the cautious approach that you have to the targets that you're giving, and it's a point that is well made over the course of the last week or so. Despite the upside that we are seeing in the markets, all of the experts on this program are being cautious with their expectations going forward. United Spirits or United Breweries, one of the two. We've got Rajdeep, who's writing in from Kolkata, and he's asking from the perspective of summer, when the consumption of certain beverages goes up. Rajesh, would you buy into one of these two?
I would go for Varun Beverages, I would say.
Okay. All right. But I'm not speaking about your preference of beverage. I'm asking about the company, Rajesh.
But if you talk of beverages, then I would go for Hindustan. That's sub, I would say. Anyways, as far as United Spirits or United Breweries is concerned, yes, after the kind of correction they have witnessed, it's a strong buy. At least United Brewery, I would say, would be a better play out of these two. Doing very well. The numbers in the last 2-3 quarters have been good. And as you pointed out, the summer play is always there. So one can buy.
Can buy. All right. So there you go. That's a view. Shrikant is calling in from Bengaluru. Hi, Shrikant. How can we help you today?
Hi, Alex. Good morning.
Good morning, sir. Please go ahead.
Yeah. I have some cash to deploy and I'm a long-term investor. I can hold for 3+ years. So I have already invested in a stock called as Shivalik Bimetal at a price of 562. Okay. Is it a good time to average? Or else I have one more option called as Sansera Engineering, where they are into precision automotive and aerospace related thing. And also recently they have acquired some semiconductor space stock as well. So which is the good for long term? So as I have cash to deploy.
Can you repeat the name of the second counter that you mentioned?
Sansera Engineering.
Spell it for me, please.
Sorry, Sansera Engineering. Sansera.
Okay. Sera. Sansera Engineering. Yeah. Got it. Yeah. Okay. So between Sansera Engineering and Shivalik Bimetal, so you haven't bought Sansera, right?
No, not yet.
Okay. So Vaishali, between these two counters, one in which he's bought at slightly elevated levels, 562 or thereabouts, if you have to freshly deploy capital, would you buy more there or would you go to a Sansera Engineering?
So I think Sansera looks quite attractive. It's already getting into signs of higher bottom and correction seems to be done with. So I would say 1216 is the price right now. It can give a target at least of 1400 to 1600 to start with.
Okay, all right. So hopefully that answers your question. We've got Suraj Singh, who's writing in from West Bengal, Siliguri, to be precise, and asking about IRB Infra. He wants to buy at the current price, which is 45 or thereabouts. He's already holding at a price of 68, and he's wondering whether to deploy the current market price. I'm going to come to you, Rajesh. Would you buy based on the fundamentals?
Yes, one can buy at these levels. Valuations have corrected quite a lot, and at these 45 odd rupees, the valuations are decent, I would say, for a target of maybe 80 odd rupees the next 1 year, 1.5 year. They have good projects going on. The debt are a little bit higher side, but that's a quality of infra piece. Good order book. They have given some new tenders for they are into pipeline. So one can buy IRB Infra at this point of time.
Okay. All right. We've got the next caller calling in from Chennai. Shankar is calling us. Hi, Shankar. And I believe you're calling again. You've called in the past. And thanks so much for calling. How can we help you today?
Okay, sir. Hello. How are you?
Very well. Please go ahead.
Sir, just 2 days back, I bought 3,000 Ola Electric at the rate of 47 rupees. Okay. My aim is 30% profit. But suddenly it went up 54, 55 levels. What can I do? Shall I exit or hold?
Okay, and was it
absolutely short term only?
Yeah, very short term.
So I want your valuable suggestion, sir.
Got it. I understand. By the way, I hope that you've been watching NDTV Profit. There are news updates that we have. In fact, there was an exclusive update that we got just a short while back where Ola Electric has had 4 RTOs in Mumbai, regional transport authorities, inspecting 10 of the company's stores in the city on account of lack of trade certificates. So in case you missed that, I would encourage you to take a look at the website ndtvprofit.com. We've got the full story there. But since you've got a short-term view, The stock is up about 3.6% in trade today at 55 or thereabouts, and you've bought at levels of 47. I'm going to go across to Vaishali on this one. 3,000, a pretty big quantity of shares. Would you book at this juncture?
I would say so, because if it's absolutely a small term trading strategy, I would say 55 is a resistance. But if you can still hold for a while, I would say keep a stop loss of 50 and go for 60 to 63, because that type of a bounce can be expected. So suiting your time frame, take a call.
Okay, all right. So suiting your time frame. And that's based on the pure technicals, Shankar. Hope that you've got that. This is several things that have happened that we've reported on, and I would once again encourage you to go and check out the website ndtvprofit.com, where we've got several stories on Ola Electric that we've done in the recent past. The next question is from Shankar Rao, who's writing about Action Construction Company. He's got 2,000 shares that he's bought at a price of 1,145. So he's in the green right now, and considerably so. Rajesh, this is a company that benefits from solid growth, right? If you're looking at construction activity picking up across the board, then you would look at this as a precursor to that. You see ACE and you say, okay, construction equipment is being sold, construction activity is taking place. So would you hold on to this, anticipating that starting the next financial year, you will see an improvement in activity?
See, starting next financial year, whether there would be improvement in activity or not is difficult to say at this point of time. But one thing is for sure, that government capex has started, and it's just a matter of time when private capex also starts. As far as Action Construction is concerned, it's a Gujarat-based, very solid company, I would say, into construction equipments. They make all types of cranes and all those things. One can continue to hold. And if by any chance it falls to around 1,100 odd rupees, that would be a buying point. Have a target of around 1,500 plus in the next 1 year.
Okay, all right. 1,500 is the target price. All right, the next question that we're taking is a very interesting one, and this is from Gurgaon, and Dinesh has got this question. He's bought Maruti Suzuki, which he purchased in 2004. Wow, so he's bought in 2004 at a price of 173. The stock price is currently at 11,663. He's got 45 shares that he's holding, and this is the true testament to long-term wealth creation. This is, if I'm not mistaken, 2004 was when you had that very famous ad from Maruti Suzuki, where the little boy was telling his father, Rajesh, Papa ki kara, petrol khatam hi nahi hunda, right? So this is a stock that has been held for that long, and what tremendous value creation. So what should he do with this? What are the prospects for Maruti?
See, just now in this show only, I've said that Maruti is a buy from our side at these levels. The company has been doing very well, continue to hold. If you don't have any requirement for funds, don't sell. If you have extra funds, you can add to that. As I said, the company has been doing very well. New launches are being there, and their EV, they have started entering into EV space too. And I think there have been talks about dealer inventory and all those things in the recent past, but these are temporary things for a company like Maruti. It's a buy from our side.
It's a buy on Maruti Suzuki, even at 11,664 for a stock that was bought by a phenomenal investor viewer at less than 1,000 rupees a piece. And kudos to you, sir. We've got Ravi calling in from Hyderabad, and Ravi, hi, good morning. How can we help you today?
Yeah, very good morning, Alex.
Please go ahead. Yeah.
Hello?
Yes, I can hear you. Please go ahead.
Yeah, my query is regarding ITC. I'm holding 100 shares of ITC at the rate of 430.
Okay.
413. So my query is, does this stock has the potential to give 10 to 15% in next 6 months?
Okay.
And also, shall I average at this current juncture?
Okay. And would you sell ITC in the next 6 months then, if you got that 10 to 15%?
Yeah.
You would sell. Okay, Rajesh, for once I'm not coming to you on ITC. I'm going to come to Vaishali on this one. And I know that you would love to answer this, but I'm still not going to come to you. Vaishali, 10 to 15% on ITC and then he would sell. What are the prospects of that happening?
Of course, I mean, that is quite a no-brainer. So according to me, such stocks are not to be kept for trading. I think this is one of the stocks which should be there in the portfolio. And it also gives good dividends. So I would say hold on.
Rajesh, Vaishali is taking the opportunity to give your answer for you. So she's sorry, so what were you saying?
I said, am I right, Rajesh? Do you agree with that?
Rajesh?
Yes, I definitely.
There you go.
Totally ITC, Alex knows. I've been talking for ITC in the last 4 or 5 years. It was trading at 150 odd levels.
Yeah.
And still it's a buy from our side,
Yeah. Okay. So, guys, it's time for the rapid fire segment. This is where we throw questions at you over the course of 2 minutes. Do keep your answers as concise as you possibly can. I will do my best to ask you quickly as well. Tanla Platforms is the first counter that we're talking about, and we've got Sarath who wants to deploy about 2 lakhs, but he's got a few options. Varun Beverages, Tanla Platforms or REC. Which one would you pick, Rajesh?
Depending on time horizon, first preference would be Varun Beverages, then REC, then Tanla.
Okay. HCC, Hindustan Construction Company. Tarun from Ahmednagar is asking about this. 46 is a buy price and he's lost quite a bit of ground. Would you buy or hold at this juncture? Would you book out? Vaishali?
Add more.
Add more. All right. Thailand. We've got a question from Thailand. Ami Organics is the name of the counter. Would you buy it? Actually, if you're holding for the long term, if you've got 2,000 units, I don't know the buy price, but would you hold, Rajesh?
Hold.
Hold. Vishakha from Bengaluru is asking about which stock can be bought from a perspective of 2 months. Vaishali?
2 months?
Yes.
I would say Axis Bank.
Okay. Relaxo Footwear, bought at levels of 1,052, holding for the last 4 years. Yash from Gurgaon wants to know, would you hold or book losses? Rajesh?
Book losses.
Okay. LTI Mindtree under a little bit of pressure today. The question is, would you reduce your losses or would you sell to reduce your losses? The question. 4,437 is the buy price. It's not very different from the current. Okay, just about 100 rupees. What would you do in the short term, Vaishali?
Add more at 4,000. Don't panic. I mean, 4,000 is a level to add more and wait for IT to start performing.
Okay. Shriram Finance is the name of the counter. 599 is the buy price. Subramaniam from Chennai wants to know about the short-term targets. Vaishali?
So, Shriram Finance short-term target would be around 680 to 700.
Tata Steel, we spoke about this at the start if I'm not mistaken. Would you buy into this right now? Arnab Banerjee from Kolkata wants to know. Rajesh?
Buy.
Buy. All right. All right. Thank you so much, Vaishali, for all the answers that you provided. Rajesh, as always, a pleasure. Thanks so much for joining in. That brings us to the end of this edition of Ask Profit. As always, a pleasure bringing it to you. Do stay tuned. Lots more coming up on NDTV Profit.
He sold most of his stock, 80%, as on that date.
We have requested the management to come and speak to us. They asked us, what questions will you ask? We've sent it to them. They don't want to answer it, so then let's put it to our viewers as well.
7 key questions, right? How is it that 2,000 crore goes unnoticed by all of these auditors?
Is seeking more information on the trades and the all the transaction which has happened from the exchanges, both NSE and BSE.
The Reserve Bank of India's supervisory officers, they are seeking compliance reports on their foreign currency borrowings by these banks.
The DSS is actively engaging with the Reserve Bank of India to sort of ensure the thorough examination of the matter. And
IndusInd Bank, as part of its internal review, had found that certain aspects of its derivatives portfolio was not meeting the standard that was set by the Reserve Bank of India.
Very warm welcome to you all for this NDTV Profit conclave, which is themed on Viksit Bharat.
A life which is both taking care of your material needs and taking care of your altruistic needs. That will be the true definition of Viksit Bharat.
In my view, we are already out of that slowdown.
For every unloam, you have to have vilom. You can't just keep doing up and up in the breading also. You have to come down. So the correction and healthy correction is a very, very integral part of the market.
The private capital expenditure, from where I sit, I see that private capital expenditure is happening.
Any tariff coming on Indian goods will be passed on to American consumers and Indian companies will not be affected.
We feel fairly good about the fact that we can compete with various folks.
Actually, instead of Viksit Bharat, we should call it Re-Viksit Bharat.
Headlines you start your day with. What matters worldwide is now in the palm of your hands. Get ready to seize the day and maximize your financial potential. Stay ahead of the curve with all you need to know on NDTV Profit.
He sold most of his stock, 80%, as on that date.
We have requested the management to come and speak to us. They asked us, what questions will you ask? We've sent it to them. They don't want to answer it, so then let's put it to our viewers as well.
7 key questions, right? How is it that 2,000 crore goes unnoticed by all of these auditors?
Is seeking more information on the trades and the all the transaction which has happened from the exchanges, both NSE and BSE.
The Reserve Bank of India's supervisory officers, they are seeking compliance reports on their foreign currency borrowings by these banks.
The DSS is actively engaging with the Reserve Bank of India to sort of ensure the thorough examination of the matter. And
IndusInd Bank, as part of its internal review, had found that certain aspects of its derivatives portfolio was not meeting the standard that was set by the Reserve Bank of India.
Hello and welcome. You're watching KYC, which is Know Your Company, and here we focus and give insights, both actionable as well as powerful, into the fundamentals of single NSE listed company. We pick one company daily, as we do. Today we'll pick Dodla Dairy. We're going to talk about this one. First off, to start off, it's a dairy company incorporated in 1995, listed only in June of 2021. In terms of what it does, one, of course, it does pure dairy, which is it sells milk and dairy based value added products. So it's doing forward integration into value added products. and also doing or rather undertaking and competing in the branded consumer market. So that's one part of the business. The other one is Orga Feed. Under the brand name Orga Feed, that business is engaged in seed crushers, manufacturing and dealing in groundnuts, gingerly, cotton, and manufacturing of cattle feed. So that's more towards the backward integration part of the business. So not only does it do milk, it does forward as well as backward integration, and it takes care of the entire supply chain from the farmer or the dairy producer all the way to the final consumer, ensuring that products reach there. Let's talk about the products. These are all the products that they do. Actually not all, just some of them, and a lot of them are value added products. As you can see, buttermilk, doodh peda, milk based sweets, lassi, paneer, curd, ghee, flavored milk, yogurt and ice creams. Pretty much the whole gamut with regard to milk based products which India largely deals with. But in terms of procurement, let's talk about that. They procure from 5 states. 1.4 lakh farmers is who they source from.